Live from Detroit, Michigan. We are here for our Next Level Tuesday. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Next Level Tuesday. We are here. I'm a little late. I was hoping to start this at 12, but life, work, it is what it is. At first, I was having kind of a shitty mood today and I wasn't going to do it, but then I realized, like, fuck that. Like, these videos make me feel good. I want to shift my energy. And so let's go ahead and get into it. You guys, my name is Honest Am. The best way to support me or the channel is to like, comment, or subscribe to the video. If you really want to support me, you really want to fuck with me, go ahead and check out www.honestlysis.com. But I'm not going to waste any more time. Let's go ahead and get into it. So I did tell you guys I had a little bit of homework for last week episode, and I wanted to see if the ones whoever won the first challenge for the season, did they go on and win the whole entire season? And that was just not the case. The only season that did happen was season 2 for Tucker. Tucker took the win for Team Ramsay, and then she went ahead and went and won the whole thing. So that's the only time that happened. Other than that, it really does not make a difference on who wins the first challenge or not. So I do want you guys to know I did do my homework. All right, so let's talk about the grab. So this week, our grab in this challenge is all about grills gone wild. The grills gone wild. So we got the top level kitchen. Of course, they have the most expensive grills. I forgot the name of it, but it was like a Japanese style grill that Becca said that she saw a lot on TikTok. Where you can kind of have the individual coals and you can cook right on like an open flame. And of course, we get to the middle level kitchen and they have, regular grills. And then all the way at the bottom, they were literally using grates grates and just putting it over fire. Ryan was like, "We gonna do some ghetto style cooking," and I was like, "Ryan, I can to that. That is not ghetto style cooking. That's some hillbilly cooking that they was doing." But right away with the grabs, it seemed as though, of course, we have Chef Nyesha, Chef Harrington at the top kitchen. Iman said right away that all the girls were very sexy. We have her at the top. We have Chef Arrington at the top level, and so they are able to get the best protein grabs. Now, I think that Becca messed up because she sees this beautiful platform and she can get whatever protein her little heart's desire. And the first thing she get was some chicken thighs. I'm like, so pick a point. Of course, those chicken thighs are going to come back to haunt her. Kathy, she pulls a steak. She said she felt very happy about that. Then we go on down to the second level. And the second level, we have, of course, Blaze keeping it strong, week 2 in the second kitchen. And he just stressed to his team that this is not a genre challenge. This is really a technique challenge. So it is not about, making the most fanciest meal. It's really about how well you can grill that meat. Simplifying some things. He kept stressing to everybody on his floor, do not make a mistake and let a good protein go down into the basement. And guess who let a good protein go down into the basement? Jeff. Jeff literally had these beautiful scallions in his hand and he put the scallions back for a pork belly. Now, Jeff reasoning for taking this pork belly instead of the scallions, it did make sense because he said he was more familiar with the pork belly. He worked with it a lot at home. Brandon was really excited about this challenge. He said that he's a pyromaniac and don't tell his mama, which I had to look at his age. I'm like, Brandon, you're 36. We don't care about what your mama think at 36, but maybe we do. I don't know. You know how boy moms can be. I do wonder if Brandon has a girlfriend that is very or a partner. I'm very curious about that. And then of course we go down to the bottom level. Arnav, he grabbed those scallions right away and he made a jab to the top level to the other two floors. He was like, this protein making it down to the basement. It just proves why uh, those other two floors do not need to be in the top kitchen. And so Arnav, he grabbed the scallions. Um, Meg was really set her little heart set on grabbing the tilapia. She was about to grab it, and then Ryan just came through like a shark and he took it right from her. One thing about Ryan, which I really wish Brandon had that energy, but Ryan is like so focused on realizing it is a competition and it is an individual competition. Yes, we may be in these teams, but I need to do whatever I need to do for myself. And he said he is from the from the East Coast. He is not allowing any seafood go past him. And so Ryan takes that tilapia, leaving Meg with the alligator bites. And so we kind of see our troubled protein is going to be these chicken thighs, this pork belly, and then we have these alligator bites. All right, so coming out of that, then we go ahead and we get into the challenge right here on the screen. If you're looking at it, I mean, look at Natalie Dish, y'all. Look at my. Oh, one thing I do want to say is that in round for season one, the season two pick for Arrington was Priya, and she went on to win the whole season. So just know my little tiny prediction may be that Natalie is going to take this whole thing out the gate. But anyway, so let's go ahead and get into Team Arrington. When we get into the actual cook of everything that is going on the floor, Iman is feeling very excited about the grill. She's saying that everything looks very sexy. Natalie says that she has salsa running down her veins, and that she was going to do kind of a that she had salsa going down her veins, and she was going to pair her ribeye with some really good salsa. Kathy seen she told Chef Arrington that she was going to go Asian style with her steak. She seemed very confident to begin with. I mean, I watched it twice, but I will have to watch it a third time to just see how the time got away from Kathy. Um, the next up is Bella. Bella seemed very confident about the direction that she wanted to go for her meal. But then she was also very honest with Chef Arrington and telling her, like, I've never cooked with these type of grills before. And so Chef Arrington did give her some tips about how, the ways to deal with the grill, how you can put coals on one side. And I just kept wondering, like, yeah, I do love that Chef Arrington came back around because, the whole storyline for this top level is about Kathy running out of time for her meal and about Becca and these chicken thighs. And I guess I do appreciate that Chef Arrington, she took the cast iron skillet and she put it on top of the chicken to try to just put some more heat there. But I just kept wondering, like, why didn't Becca get more coals? Like, why didn't she just like try to heat up the kitchen? I mean, heat up that stove just a little bit more, or why didn't she go to another grill? Because one thing that I did notice is that when Chef Arrington talked to Kathy, she told Kathy that she had the grill right here, and then she had a grill in behind her. So I'm wondering, did Becca um have a similar setup, or did she not? Let's see. What so then we get down to, everybody's cooking very well, and we get around to the mid-round drop. And the mid-round drop is all about cornbread, which I'm like, I don't know. I can't remember when I have ever had cornbread and barbecue. Like, those two things just don't go together to me. Like, I don't know. That was very random to me. Cornbread and barbecue? I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong. Um I'm thinking about what is that place? Yeah, like, I mean, Texas Roadhouse, they do rolls, but like, I don't know. I just thought that cornbread was so random. And so when they get the cornbread drop, Kathy is low key freaking out a little bit because she's never made cornbread before. Jeff started freaking out because he never. So it's like this: the mid round drop about the cornbread. They had to put some cornbread on their plate. Really messed up a lot of the people. Really messed up a lot of the contestants, especially ones that were already struggling. But I did notice that by the mid round drop, when they were supposed to be, focusing on cornbread, Kathy and Bella didn't have their proteins on, so I knew that it was going to end up being an issue later on down the line. But the top dishes that came out of Chef Arrington kitchen is, of course, Natalie ribeye. Chef Arrington, when we get to that judges debate, she was trying to put this ribeye in a conversation. Those guys were not having it or hearing it at all. Iman made these beautiful swordfish skewers, and she also made a pomegranate um cornbread that just sounds so delicious. And then of course Bobby had a skirt steak, and he made these potatoes fonda, I want to say, that Gordon Ramsay was really really excited about. I do want to say, I guess I'll wait till we get there, but I mean, Kathy dish does look good. She didn't pickle the cabbage, and it was just raw cabbage on there. I want to know what else is under this Becca chicken, because if her chicken was just barely cooked, I'm still trying to figure out how we ended up with with the result that we ended up in. I do feel like, and you guys, you comment down below if you want, if you feel this way as well, but it did kind of feel like Chef Arrington was picking on Kathy in the middle of the cook. Like she's like, go faster, do this, do that. And I'm just like leave her alone. Like some people do not, some people don't work well under pressure like that. And since she's already, very, you know, I don't want to say soft, but she's very, you could tell she's a little flustered. I just don't understand why. Um, I don't understand why Chef Arrington thought being harder on her work. I think if she would have just went over there and explained, "Hey, where are you? What's going on? Do you still have a good concept for your dip?" I think Kathy just needed a little bit more love, and Chef Arrington kind of was just barking at her a little bit. Let's go to the middle level kitchen. So middle level kitchen, we got Team Blaze. Team Blaze, when it comes to the grab, it seemed like I told you guys again, everybody was very excited about it. Excuse me. I love how Blaze kept saying, just recognize that this is a technique challenge. It is not a genre challenge. I told you guys all about Jeff dropping those scallions for those pork, for the pork. Megan was going to make this game hen, doing it mahi mahi style. I've never had that. Did I even say that right? Mahi mahi. I'm not sure if I said that right, but it was something about her chicken that just looked amazing to me. It looked like it was the best dish, but again, we don't get to taste these things. Miriam had a bison. Brandon was very excited. He kind of paused to do a fist bump with Austin before he started cooking. And I just want Brandon to just like focus, like just zone in, bro. Like stop trying to be so overly friendly. But whatever, maybe that's just his personality. By the time we get to the mid round, everybody seems like they're doing fine. Um, but by the time we get to the mid round drop, cornbread, Jeff is just all over the place. Like he has his pork belly on the grill here. He has his asparagus and stuff on a stove here. And then then he's trying to do cornbread. Like he was all over the place. And I just knew like this was not gonna end well for Jeff. But the top dishes that came out of that kitchen. Oh, one thing that I did say I really liked about Richard is that he knew he makes a point to check in with every one of his contestants, like even the ones that he just who has it together. He just like I love how he stopped in with Megan and was just like, "Hey, did you make sure you salt the fish?" And she's like, "Yes, I made sure I salted it." Um, when he was talking to Brandon, he acknowledged how much passion and joy he had for it. And I just really love Miriam. Like I'm telling y'all have to watch out for my girl. Like she's gonna be a sleeper. She's gonna come up and mess up this competition. But okay, in the best way, like in the best way. So middle level kitchen, top dishes. Of course, we got to do our girl Megan, her game hen, which this is not the best picture, but I am glad that I at least got a picture for it. And this is the game hand right here, where you guys see my little mouse going. You can see those beautiful pomegranate seeds on top. It was spatchcock, so that's like making sure they can be evenly cooked. Brandon. Next up was Miriam Bison. One thing that she always, and this is why I just know Miriam is just such a good cook. She had already planned on making this dish, and she was going to do the homemade naan underneath to kind of, make cornbread instead of using, I guess, like whatever regular flour she would use. She ended up doing that cornmeal so that her cornbread ended up being that tortilla, like got to be that shell. And I was like right away, I was like, oh my god, that was so smart. And Gordon He also said that was smart. I'm like, I can be a judge. Like, I know what I'm looking for. And then last but not least, Brandon in his pork loin. He did this right here. He did a pork loin that Ramsay said was cooked amazing. And he did it with these beautiful peach dishes. Also, I want to say Austin made this dish over here. It didn't look very pretty to me. Oh, Austin had beef ribs with pork, with coleslaw, and it just did not look good to me. I'm like, visually, it didn't look pleasing at all. All right, top level kitchen. So I wasn't able to get the best pictures, for the top level kitchen. I did get a very beautiful picture of the platform that you guys will be able to see. Um, but so let's talk about the top level. Uh right away, everybody seems to be doing very well. Beatrice is just like her energy and she's just off the chart. She was so excited about this challenge. She was so excited about getting these lamb hearts. She said she's never cooked with with it before, but she was really excited to, make something that sounds like nasty or, not very appealing, but to make it something that people will want to eat and something that people love. So she was really excited about that. It seemed like she already had an idea of how she wanted to cook it, and Gordon just helped her flesh that out. Again, Arnav was very happy about those scallops, and he seemed very focused about what he was going to do. Ryan ended up making a tilapia with some grits. You can never go wrong with fish and grits. But Meg was really the one here on this floor that was challenging. She was really worried about her alligator bite. She hasn't cooked with it before. I think Gordon made the joke like, "Haven't you made this in your van before?" She was like, no, like maybe my boyfriend has, but I haven't." And I was just like, Meg, like I'm over here begging, excuse me, I'm over here bragging to people about how you are going to be a sleeper and people need to watch out for you. And just seeing her struggle, I was just so nervous, but she actually ended up putting together a good cook in the end. And so, what we end up getting out of the bottom level is Beatrice lamb hearts, which actually we'll talk about that in a minute. Beatrice lamb hearts are knob grilled scallions, which you see right here. He actually did also like a grilled leaf, and it's just like he has a very artistic approach to food to me, the way that he goes about putting it together. And then of course Ryan tilapia and grits, I thought that that was an amazing meal as well. And Meg, her alligator bites did come out pretty good. Well, it came out pretty good. I want to say Blais said that they were dry and a little tough, but Gordon said that they were perfect. Perfect. So, you know, it was a little bit of a debate there. Look at this beautiful picture of this platform, y'all. I will hope that I can get a picture. I'm going to try my best to get this picture of the platform every single week. But you can just see like literally the top level dishes. You can see the middle level dishes, and then all at the bottom, you can see those bottom level dishes with look at that, with that lamb heart sticking right up. And so when we get to the judges debate, what comes up is of course Jeff Pork Belly and how tough it was. And we knew that it was going to be tough because he kept it on there forever. I just don't know what he was thinking. It's so funny. He was like, I was thinking about like, oh yeah, it's going to be like at home, and I do some barbecue with my kids. And he by the middle of it, he's like, this is not an at home barbecue. I am not at home with my kids. Like it's like he just did like a total 360. um, Kathy, her steak dish came up. Blaze, Richard called it. He called it basic. And Nyesha agreed. Like it was really, really sad. And then the biggest debate ended up being about Megan versus Beatrice, excuse me. And that was the game hen versus the lamb hearts. Presentation wise, I feel like Megan should have got it. And it was so funny. So why they were all talking about who should win the top dish. And Chef Arrington was like, I mean, guys, but what about the ribeye? And Blaze was like, no disrespect, but this is a two dish race. And she's like, wow, are you guys going to be teaming up with me? So you guys are an alliance? Like, it was just, the judges' debate is just hilarious. And, they are really giving this season. Um, no complaints. No complaints at all. So the winner ended up being, of course, Team Ramsay. Not of course, but the dish ended up being Team Gordon. Beatrice took it with her lamb hearts. Um, some comments that the judges made was that Richard said that uh, it tastes like a sirloin. Gordon said it tastes like wagyu beef, and so she won this because of the complexity of the meat and how she was able to transform it. And also, Nyesha said that her hush puppies were textbook, and so I am also a fan of hush puppies. Like I love them to death. So like I was just like, I want to taste them. Whatever she said, let me say. So that leaves us with somebody from Team Arrington or Team Blaze that has to go in the bottom, have to go into the bottom elimination. And what ended up happening, it ends up being Kathy for her basic steak dish. And then Jeff ended up getting called down. But because he still have the immunity pin, Jeff actually used his immunity pin and Brandon went in his place. And I kind of this time around, I really, I don't believe that Brandon should have went in at all. But because of Brandon's passion about, grills and how much he loved it and how much he talked about how much he adored, grilling, I think it made sense that Blaze put him in next. He was also Blaze number two pick. And again, remember he talks all about these heavy shooters. He's knocking other people out. And Gordon said he needs to be careful because one day his luck is going to run out. And so our elimination challenge is the next level cauliflower dish. They had 20 minutes to do it. So it was a cauliflower battle. I mean, look at these dishes. Like, I was just getting so emotional during this elimination challenge, and this is when I love next level. This is when it really comes into its own for me, because even though Kathy has been so frazzled throughout this competition, and I've been so worried about her since the audition rounds, in this elimination round, Kathy truly held her own. Now, is that because she didn't think that she was going to go? She was mad that she didn't go. I also agree. I do not believe that Kathy deserved to be in that elimination round, and for Nyesha to put her there because she said she need more for her. It just felt like she was bullying her and picking on her. And it's like, if you didn't want her to be on your team because you thought that she was too soft, you shouldn't have put her on your team. Becca should have been in that elimination challenge. That chicken was barely cooked. Like, but again, this is, this we are just the audience. And it's not like we can call in and vote. But yeah, I was really upset. I thought that Becca should have been in the elimination round. Nisha saved her. And if Becca does not cook well next week, she should go home again. Like, and it is what it is. And now I'm not gonna say I'm no longer Team Arrington, but I just feel just a little bit more stronger that this is Team Blaze season to lose. Not to win, but to lose. Like he has everything in his arsenal to win. His weakest link is Jeff. Um, like I really want to see a win for Richard. But anyway, so Kathy said that she's gonna come in here and she's gonna be bad bitch Kathy, which I was like, okay, Kathy, go off. She said everybody talk about how good Brandon is. She doesn't care about that. She's just gonna go in and she's gonna run her own race, and she did. Like, yes, she had a little bit of a moment when her cauliflower steak fell apart, but Gordon told her she had more than enough time to make another one. She made she made actually two more. And ended up picking the prettiest one. She got the pomegranate seed because she was just, feeling the inspiration, really thinking about the plating, wanting to, awaken new flavors and to make it bright and vibrating. Like Kathy really came into her own, and like I just found myself tearing up. Like I was just like Natalie, like I am so fucking proud of Kathy. Like I don't care how frazzled she may have been these other weeks in this battle, Kathy held her own, and I was just so proud of her. But she was going up against Brandon, and Brandon, he literally said, I've been known to do some sexy things to Cauliflower. Brandon, what the fuck are you doing to Cauliflower? Please explain. Tell the class. Tell the class. Tell the class. What have you been doing to Cauliflower? But he ends up, so in the end, we end up having these two beautiful dishes. Kathy made a curry cauliflower steak dish, and then Brandon prepared cauliflower multiple ways. He did it as a puree. He ended up doing the broccoli and the cauliflower um, hybrid plant. He put that in there. He ended up roasting it. Like he really did his thing. And in the end, Brandon ended up winning the lounge conversation. Um, I mean, it wasn't anything too crazy. I do feel like everybody was really rooting for Kathy and really wanted to kind of knock Brandon off a peg because Natalie said that Brandon is just a little bit too cocky for her. And it is true. Like sometimes when you are overly cocky, like and you just have that attitude that you're supposed to win at all costs, like 9 times out of 10, you can, get hit on, get knocked down and put on your ass and you'll be taken out. It really pays to have a humble attitude. But I personally don't feel like Brandon is cocky. Like maybe he has a different energy with the other contestants. But to me, Brandon is just confident. And I don't think anything is wrong with confidence. Like actually, I think you need to have confidence, especially when you are in competitions like this. Oh, and then another thing that Nyesha said is that she put Kathy in the elimination challenge because she just does little things that trip her up. And the winner ended up being Brandon. So, our final thoughts. We made it to the end of the episode. I was just looking at my notes because I wanted to see if I missed anything. I did say that Megan was like nerding out about Brandon, about if he needed something, and I don't know what he dropped in it, but she was just feeling Brandon at this moment. And I'm like, Brandon. Just cook, boy. Anyways, final thoughts, life advice. So, our life advice this week, we didn't get too deep into life advice, but there was a moment in level, of course, at the top level when Natalie was cooking and Chef Arrington went over to Natalie and she said, do you believe in yourself? And she's like, yes. And she's like, I believe in you. And I think that, even though it was very small, I think I think a lot of us can excuse me. I think a lot of us can underestimate how much belief in yourself can just do for you. Like when you don't believe in yourself and you present stuff, it kind of can feel that way, and people can see that you don't believe in it. And I think that was a lot with Kathy. Like I think Chef Arrington saw that Kathy was doubting herself, and that's why she ended up being in the chopping block. But if Kathy could have just, shook off being last in the, being last picked in the draft and just be happy that she lived to see 2 more weeks. I just think she would have, you know she would have went further along if Kathy would have had that bad bitch Kathy energy all competition. She would have never ended up in that elimination challenge. And so our lesson this week is to believe in your damn self. Like believe in yourself, and even if you don't believe in yourself, fake it, or the wolves or the sharks will sniff it out and they will cut your ass and put you in elimination all because you don't. Okay, so just please try your best, especially with everything that's going on in the world. It could be hard to feel like, what am I doing this for? Because I'll be honest, I was literally just crying on my bathroom floor not even 3 hours ago because I just am very frustrated with life and where I am and thinking that I would be further along by now. But I also had to come back to this moment, and instead of shutting down and being like, oh, I'm not going to do anything because nothing is working out for me, I'm just going to shake it off. I'm gonna allow myself to cry, and I'm gonna do something that bring me joy because I do believe in myself. I do believe that I deserve happiness, and I think to get what you truly want, you have to act like it before it even gets there. Okay, so believe in your goddamn self. Okay. All right, mentor beef. I told y'all about the mentor beef during the debate, during the judges' debate, where Nyesha accused Gordon and Richard being on accused them of being in an alliance because they wouldn't even consider Natalie's steak dish funny. I do not see it, but I will keep my eye on it because if that happens one more time, then Chef Arrington may have it here. Predictions. Again, I still feel like Chef I think this is Chef Blais season to win. I really do genuinely feel that way. I think this is for him. I will say I was feeling nervous about Beatrice last week, but this week she just really, I mean, her confidence, her energy. I mean, she she was her and Gordon like smoke rice and rice. Like I'm low key falling in love with her. I hated that Iman like while Kathy is like fighting for her life, Iman is like, "Oh my god, I hope we don't have to go in the basement." Girl, you're worried about the wrong things. Root on your team. Root your teammate on. I do feel like I don't know. I think Chef Arrington, her team. I got my eye on Becca for Chef Blake. I got my eye on Bobby. But for Gordon team, I feel like they are finally finding their groove. And honestly, it may be a tight race for them. I don't see them losing. I mean, the I think their weakest link is Meg, and I don't really see Meg going anywhere anytime soon. So this is actually what I was gonna say. My prediction is I think that this may be the best season of Next Level Chef we've had in a while. There's just some really talented chefs, and I'm just so curious to see how the rest of the season play out. I do think that this is Richard Blais season to win it. What do you think? Who do you think is going to take it all? Do you have a top chef that you are rooting for? Please make sure you comment down in the box below. I am trying to gear up. Like, I want to get y'all advice. Like, how far should we at least get to the halfway point? I think I want to at least wait till they're not in teams anymore before I pick who I think is going to win it all. But I told you, you guys can kind of guess who my top people are. I got Natalie, I got Miriam, I got Megan, um, Brandon, and Ryan. Those are my top five that I think are going to take it all the way. Who do you think? Comment down below. And so, guys, this is the end of this episode. I want to thank you so much for being here. Thank you for dealing with my fun and wacky times. One more week. One more week. Let's see. Next week, I'm trying to figure out, what our times is going to be. It really is looking like we are going to be a next level Tuesday. And if that is the case, I will make sure I put the schedule on my website, www.honestlysis.com, to know all that information when I'm going live, what I'm going to be covered. Make sure that you are on that mailing list because I will start sending out some schedules for just those lives. All right, guys, thank you so much for making my dreams come true. Now get out there and work on your own. Dream those dreams. Never let the internet rush you, and never ever let someone tell you what you cannot do. Let's take the advice of Chef Arrington to heart and believe in ourselves. Whatever we do this week, I don't care if it is cutting your grass, I don't care if it is putting water in a cup. Do it like you mean it. All right. Until we meet again, I'll see you soon. Peace. Next Level Tuesday. Bye.